Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. Jesus has a desire for human company. He chooses the 12 that they might be with him. See Mark chapter 3, verse 14. And even in Gethsemane, he wants the chosen 3 to share his vigil, not that they can do anything, but just that they might be there. Mark chapter 14, verses 32 through 41. On one occasion, when I spoke about the value of someone just being there for us, someone remarked, "The one thing that I cannot stand is someone sitting there doing nothing when I am working as hard as I can." So, I suppose there are two sides to this matter. That person is right. There are times when it would be the very reverse of friendship to sit there doing nothing. To see a person rushed and overworked and harassed and to do nothing about it is certainly not the act of a friend. So now I can begin to see that the very essence of real friendship is to know when it is necessary just to be there and when it is necessary to do something. There is a familiar passage of Scripture in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8, about different kinds of times that we have just read. There is a time to weep, the wise man says, and a time to laugh, a time to keep, and a time to throw away. The preacher does not include in this list a time to act and a time not to act. The nearest he gets to it is that there is a time to keep silence and a time to speak. And the real essence of friendship is to know which is which. Mary of Bethany has this sensitive awareness. She knows that there is a time when the only thing to do is to sit in silence at Jesus' feet and just to be with him with no action at all. Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42. But she also knows, as we saw in the passage of Scripture we looked at together yesterday morning, that there is a time to take the ointment and to anoint his feet, and so publicly to act so that all might see the devotion of her love. John chapter 12, verses 1 through 8. There are times when true friendship demands action, and there are also times when just to be there and to do nothing is not an act of friendship at all. There are times when true friendship demands simply the support of the silent presence of someone who is there. He is indeed a wise friend who knows which time is which, who knows when to act, and who knows when just to be there. What about you today? Are you a true friend to others? Why not ask God to give you the ability and the sensitivity to discern when it is appropriate to take action to help another and when it is best to simply be present? This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
Now won't you tell me where could